or attempt to. But what I really want to know is, or what I really have to do is make sure that those are parallel to each other. So they're not the same size, because there is a difference between the front of your body and the back of your body. So the width of it is not the same, and that's fine. What I'm concerned with is that you can see where the back is there, and the front is here. So that's parallel. So make sure that that is the same all the way down. So the distance from the back and the front piece is hard to tell. But that distance should be parallel. It could be a whole inch. Make sure that it's a whole inch down, not a whole inch over here and then a fourth of an inch down there. And what I'm looking at here is you can see the side seam of the front and the back. Half of the longer side goes to the other side and half of it gets chopped off. It's called balancing. So that's the difference between the front and the back, a quarter of an inch. So what I'm going to do, instead of keeping it there because it's off, I'm going to take the front one and I'm going to mark it in the center of the two. Yours may not be, it usually has to be adjusted somehow. Does this make sense? This is in the book. But you want to make sure that your front and your back are parallel. So whatever the distance is, they're not the same width, and that's okay. They're not supposed to be. But what you will find is that whatever the excess is, so the front is over a quarter of an inch from the center back. Make sure that it's a quarter of an inch over on the bottom too, so that you're not dealing with a piece that looks like that, where you have 4 inches here and a quarter of an inch there. Make sense? Parallel to. And when it's parallel to, and I line it up when you hand it in, and I line up your backs together, they don't have to be the same, the side seam should be the same. So half of this excess, one of them is longer than the other. So half of it from the longer side is going to be added to the front, and half of the back is going to be removed. I'm just going to cut it. So when you line these up, the side seam should be exactly the same. This happens, see, because we didn't draft a bodice, it happens there too. That the side seams, when you line up the front and back together, the side seam is exactly in the same spot. But because we didn't have to draft it, you didn't know that. So I'm going to cut this. And it's halfway between. You can draw it on, you don't have to just cut it when it's like this. I can't see it anymore. Because I have my eyes closed. What do you think, I don't have ears? So the side seam should be exactly the same. So if yours is greater than mine, yours might be off by a ½ inch. Take off a quarter of an inch from the longer one and add it to the front. That's essentially what it is. It's called balance. Your brother or sister or your imaginary friend has too much candy. You're going to take some of it so that it's equal. That's it. I don't know, apply it to whatever you want. I'm just trying to get rid of this. But now when this is lined up and parallel to each other, your side seam is exactly the same line. That's all that it boils down to. And it's explained in the text right there. Balancing the side seam. But we didn't have to do this to the first one because we controlled the amount of flare that went in there. This time we had no control over it because we needed to add or get rid of the darts, and whatever opened there created an imbalance. And now we just fixed that imbalance. If you didn't do this, then you would find that your skirt side seam would go forward or backwards, depending on which one was longer. And you want it to be straight down your body. So if you did a sample, side seam should be at the side of your body.
that's what helps you do that.
Questions?